14th National Day Celebration live stream on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Amanda Stevens.
And I'm Hanna Bilinski. And we're coming in just as they're singing the national anthem. We had really good luck with weather today, especially considering we just bid farewell to the typhoon.
It's really crazy to see how quickly this all came together, considering how worried everybody was last week. But you know, with things like this, they're really preparing them for a long time in advance.
Yes, and since we started at 10 o'clock today, we did miss out on some of the prelude performances, which included fun stuff like acrobats and cheerleading squads.
Not to mention the balloon squad.
Yes,
for the National
cute.
Armed Forces. It was a really nice display. Nice to see everybody involved. I always admire that about the Taiwanese National Day celebrations. It seems to put the people forward rather than military might like some other national days.
It's much more culture oriented, I'd say, rather than military oriented.
Yeah, it's a nice celebration of the people, truly. So we're coming in right now as there is a salute to the founding father of Taiwan, generally recognized as Sun Yat-sen. Just following the national anthem. So this year is exciting. It's President Tsai Ing-wen's first National Day.
各位亲爱的父老兄弟姐妹，各位尊敬的友邦嘉宾，还有在世界各地依然心系中华民国的华侨同胞们，很高兴今天在这片青天白日之下，和大家一起欢庆中华民国第113岁的生日。我想先和大家一起大声的祝福我们热爱的中华民国繁荣昌盛，国泰民安，生日快乐。今天
The event was planned, actually, by a committee run by the KMT, including Chairperson Han Kuo-yu, who is speaking right now. This is the first time in 8 years this is happening due to their majority in the legislature.
This year, there's a lot more patriotic displays happening, especially with a focus on the flag, which they've previously criticized the DPP for not including enough, and that national anthem, which was led by 3 war heroes, actually.
I think their influence is pretty clear, yes. We did see some heroes from the Guningtou battle, which took place October 25th, 1949, when the KMT fighters successfully repelled the Communist Army from getting a foothold in Jima days of fighting.
Yeah, their involvement was to kind of signify a cultural inheritance or like a historical inheritance for the modern Taiwanese people. It was a nice gesture. I haven't seen something like that for a while in the last national days. So it'll be interesting to see what other changes, if there are any other big changes, that this administration or the KMT planning party will have put into place.
I think it's always good to have the veterans involved.
It's a nice display of respect, for sure. So it's good to see.
在台湾，我们或许有不同的身份认同，但是只要去国离乡，想着念着，都是我们最美丽的家园，美丽的台湾。中华民国的存在从来都不容易，从烽火连天。
You know, speaking of patriotism, Han Kuo-yu also mentioned that he hoped that this year's National Day would inspire a little bit more from younger Taiwanese.
I must say, I'm not sure there's really a fire of patriotism that I have observed in the younger generation, so he may have a point there.
I was going to say, I think he actually shares your opinion. That's something he is on record as saying. He feels like young people don't have that, almost an executive phrase, that fire of patriotism inside of them.
一路打拼下来，除了他们，我们应该更感恩在台湾这片土地上成千成万善良勤恳的百工百业， 士农工商各阶层的同胞。这里有你，有我，有他，也有我们共同的祖祖辈辈，一步一脚印，为国人同胞、为后辈来打拼。各位亲爱的国人同胞，联合国统计全球将近80亿人口，25%在战乱，还有60%在贫穷线以下。想想这些冷冰冰的数字，我们不得不惊恐。台湾36000平方公里的土地，只有占地球上的3%的土地。台湾2300万的人口，只有占全球79亿人口的3%。但是，我们各行各业，大家努力打拼，我们的工业产品可以高达全球3%，这是了不起的成就。我们一无所有，我们没有石油，没有天然气，没有煤炭，我们唯一有的就是人才，唯一愿意做的就是努力打拼。这个世界并不太平，这个世界还是有很多的贫困，所以真的是我们一定要团结起来，守护台湾这个宝岛。
Han Kuo-yu is kind of giving us a preview almost to President Lai's overarching theme for his speech, which will be Unite Taiwan, Dream Together. It's kind of boosting morale.
Yeah, it actually was the slogan for this year's celebration, right? A better Taiwan today, better Taiwan tomorrow. Notable, it's the first time that that's been the slogan exclusively without actually having the mention of this being Taiwan's National Day on all of the advertising. So I think it's really, speaking of all the patriotism that they're trying to put forward, you can really see the effort that they're putting forth in all of the messaging, from imagery up.
同胞们的团结努力，维持了我们将近70年来的安定繁荣。我们也知道，在很多场合，我们没有办法高举中华民国的国旗，但是呼吁国人同胞，我们一样要有骨气，要有勇气，必须让世界知道，让年轻人知道，中华民国是存在的。它可以是台积电，可以是佛光山，可以是慈济，可以是走遍全世界的台商。中华民国也可以是参加奥运的奥运选手。中华民国也可以是在座的各位。
Right now, he's making some comments about validating Taiwan's existence as a sovereign nation.
Interesting.
Participating in the Olympics and so on. So our presence in the world.
Yeah. And Taiwan really has been focusing on that in the last couple of years, really. I think it's been getting a lot more media attention, certainly over abroad.
Yes.
The difference between, well, even in our own home country, I think we're both from the United States.
Yes, we are.
I know in the last 4 years, a lot more people have come to recognize Taiwan, specifically as a country.
I think they see a lot of us on the news.
Yeah.
Good and bad.
A lot more effort this year, though, I think, put forth into making it good press rather than just kind of the West tends to focus on a lot of fear-based press with Taiwan, I think. So it's nice this year to have made news for things like the Olympics. So they'll be making an appearance later too, some of those Olympians.
Yes, they will. And I think it's important he's encouraging us to be proud of Taiwan, even though we can't always raise the flag in every venue.
Yeah, and it's a real shame. That also has been kind of a big thing this year when you think about it.
Yes.
So
always, it's a subject of controversy, really, unfortunately.
It's kind of one of those things you don't really think about. There's a lot of things like that, I think, that maybe people who aren't from Taiwan or haven't spent a lot of time in Taiwan might not be so familiar with, but you don't think about it until you're not allowed to do it or you get in trouble for little things.
You can't appreciate your freedom until you don't have it.
It's very poetic.
A little spiritual for today.
Yeah. You think his speech is working? Are you getting more of a political fire?
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll work. It works for me.
At least meditating more on the thoughts of it.
Sure.
And, that's where a lot of it starts too, is kind of thinking about, or getting started by thinking about what lines you wouldn't want crossed or would want crossed. you know, those are things that can inspire people to act more holistically, maybe?
Yeah.
So it's nice to see a speech of unity from, I'm imagining, both parties, given that
Sure.
he and President Lai Ching-te are from opposition parties. It's interesting that they're both sharing this common goal of patriotism.
Yeah, today, I mean, it's Taiwan's birthday. We got to come together.
Certainly one thing we could all agree on, right? We all love Taiwan, even if we have different visions of what that future looks like.
That's
So
right.
it's a warm feeling.
你们都是我们中华民国最亲的亲人，在这面青天白日满地红的旗帜之下，我们血脉相连。要谢谢各位华侨朋友的关心，也希望所有华侨同胞有空
Sounds
多
like he
回台湾
is
来走走，
getting ready to
来
pass
看
it
看
off to the Overseas Community Affairs Council consultant, Chen
最
Guilin.
后，
So,
面对再一次对国内
wrapping
所有
up
的
shortly now.
2300万民众好友，
The Overseas Affairs Council has been really busy this year.
今年的国庆
You
大
know.
典。
yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah.
合作伙伴
Well, this year's been a really big year for Taiwan, right? So given just even speaking politically that there was a presidential election this year, and then now on top of that we have 10-10 Day, plus the Olympics, there's been a lot of reason for overseas Taiwanese to want to come back to Taiwan.
Oh, yes.
So that's been making the news. Also, this year actually is not quite breaking records, but it's the largest number of overseas Taiwanese visiting Taiwan specifically for National Day in 8 years. So breaking a mold.
我们再一次
I think,
体会了
well, maybe we do have patriotism then after all.
美好。我们又
I mean, it's been a big year. Like we were saying, Taiwan's been on the mind. So there's also been some like push
再一次祝福
to
中华
maybe
民国
not come
国运
back
昌隆。
from other places. But you know,
I know there's always something to be said about the brain drain that happens with developing or developed countries too. Even everybody wants to go abroad, but they're definitely encouraging more people to come back, make their businesses here,
yeah.
bring it home.
And all the more reason, right, for people like Han Kuo-yu and Lai Ching-te to try and want to inspire those young people to be proud of their country, come back, bring their talent back to Taiwan,
And
right?
their money.
And their money. That's true. So here she is. This is the Overseas Community Affairs Council consultant.
That's right.
And she actually lives in the U.S. most of the time. And she, speaking of, so she's speaking from a place of experience when she talks about the
台湾桃园
overseas
居于美国
experience.
Yes, she's a native of Taoyuan, though. That's where she was born and raised.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these people come from not Taipei,
陈委员
which is nice. You know, even though that's the most
Well, we all
populous
start
city.
somewhere.
Right. But I mean, I think that's a good thing, right? Because
I think so, too.
I think overseas, speaking on that topic, right? Like when people do know about Taiwan, they know about
我们政府推
Taipei.
展
I
So having
think,
people,
外交
I think when you're born in a smaller place, you want to leave even more, actually. But the important thing is
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
come back to deliver her speech.
it's true. It's true.
She's quite busy. She's currently the president of the Taiwanese Association of America, board member of the Haihua Cultural Foundation, and a director of the Asia Pacific Freedom Women's Association. So
传播下去。
I mean,
she's a hard worker.
不懈地在
I'm impressed she has the time to come back and do this kind of
Yes.
thing. So, but she's also, I mean, we're speaking a little prematurely, but still, she's also made a name for herself as really working to get Taiwan on the map and to raise more awareness of Taiwanese political involvement, Taiwanese activism, the experience of other overseas Taiwanese. I know certainly she's worked in Washington, D.C. during her time there. She made a name for herself because of her political activism. So definitely somebody who is very involved in...
Very credentialed.
Yeah. Very involved in modern and foreign politics, I think, in a position we don't usually think of.
大会主席韩院长，各位女士、先生，来自全球各地的侨胞朋友们，大家早安，大家好，大家高早，大家好，大家好。带着对我们国家的深厚情感，无论身在何处。
Another interesting thing about her involvement is she's particularly passionate about Taiwanese.
Yes, she she just did her morning greeting in Mandarin and in Taiwanese. I gotta say, my Taiwanese could use a lot of work.
But do you know much?
I can understand it.
Really?
Yeah, I grew up listening to my family talk about me in Taiwanese, thinking I couldn't understand, but actually I can. But my speaking is very so-so.
Yeah. Nothing makes you want to learn more than trying to figure out what people are saying about
Exactly.
you. It's very good motivation.
But I think it is important to keep the language alive. It feels like home.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of culture that's wrapped up in language, especially like a language that's like rooted in what the people are doing. So she had a quote when she was working overseas that said, even if there's one, what was it? She said, even if there's only one student, the Taiwanese school must continue.
I agree.
Very poetic.
I would be the student. I need to brush up. So
you can finally join the conversation
yes.
instead of being the subject.
Right.
Yeah.
For now, I can only give simple directions to a cab driver.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Or I can bargain at the supermarket. That's as good as it gets.
That's pretty good. I'm usually on the opposite. I'm getting lessons from the cab driver. But it's nice to see, of course, we have the Hakka Affairs Council that will be present during this later on as well. But it's nice to see the Taiwanese language being featured in big public displays like this, even if it's just with one or two speakers. I think the more presence that it has, the more attention that it gets, like with everything else. And like you said, it feels like home. Right?
It does.
Feels right to hear it.
Keep Taiwan free.
We just missed her. There it is again. She is speaking in Taiwanese now. Sounds great.
Yeah.
My pronunciation is never going to be that good.
But it also makes sense when you're trying to reach overseas Taiwanese.
Yes.
Right? Like there's that deep feeling, that kind of deep connection that I'm sure a lot of overseas have also felt with, your grandparents speak Taiwanese, your parents speak Taiwanese.
That is especially the language spoken at home more than anything else.
So hearing a representative for you here, I have to imagine, would feel very, very much like being seen.
Yes.
So it's a very nice gesture when welcoming Taiwanese home.
Yes. Nothing feels more like home than hearing Taiwanese.
都在世界舞台担任关键重要角色。我们将打造智慧永续新台湾，成为经济日不落国。
She's a great orator. She can speak so many languages well.
Yeah, she's really flipping through them.
Yeah.
Chinese, English,
It's effortless.
Taiwanese. I guess, she's involved in so many things. She gets a lot of practice.
我们以语言和文化的软实力，深入国际主流社会，分享台湾的价值与美好。今天在我们的观礼台上，也有来自全球各地的师铎奖的得主，他们都在海外奉献侨教超过30年以上。请大家给他们最大的掌声，谢谢他们对台湾所做的奉献。今年是美国台湾关系法立法45周年，全美台湾同乡会在2023年发行50周年的纪念专辑。专辑记载了台美人在过去的岁月内底如何亲近台美的外交，为着台湾的民主、人权加转型正义，吐尽心头火，声声为台湾。台湾的民主、多元的进步，是最海外的侨胞甲民主前辈牺牲奉献才换来的成果。民主、自由及人权是我们永远不退让的坚持。今年的法国巴黎奥运，台湾的选手拿下2金5铜的佳绩，相信大家都为他们加油，并感动落泪。
Very good rallying cry this year.
在奥运期间，为我国家队及加油群众所持的旗帜及标语的种种打压行径，却只会让我们更团结。台湾人民就好比是每一个在奥运场上拼尽全力为国争光的选手一样，我们为了维护自由、民主、主权与经济，在各自的专业领域当中，尽全力为台湾打拼 为台湾努力。
You know, it is really nice to have at the National Day speech one specifically addressing Taiwanese who are probably living overseas.
Yeah.
It's kind of reflecting on it. I don't know a lot of other countries that would make that effort.
It's a pretty large community overseas, I'd
Yeah.
say.
暗黑势力可以无情的打压，却阻挡不了国际正义支持的力量。
I think one good reason is to let them know they can always come back.
Yeah,
相信
yeah.
大家都有听
And it's
到
even nice
大
to be
家最
considered,
爱
right?
的
I think,
二姐
again,
江蕙
using
的歌
like
声
our own experience.
她说
The only time the
要
United
把
States
台
ever
湾
reaches out is whenever they
让
want
掉
taxes.
That's right.
So it's nice to have your
right.
country reach out and say
Yes.
things like, hey, remember,
They did tell.
We'd like you.
They did remind us to vote
在
this
国
year,
家
so
面
there
前
is that.
yeah, voting and taxes. But to be included with like having a speech, whether or not you could choose to attend that in Taiwan, right? But you could definitely listen, have someone speaking to like a mixed experience like that, I think is really valuable.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a very nice, again, like I said before, it's a very nice like inclusion of the larger population of Taiwanese.
It's a very diasporic world now, so it seems like everyone should do this, really.
Yeah, it would be nice to see a lot of other countries kind of follow Taiwan's lead in this regard and, you know, remembering how spread out and how like far spread many countries are
Right.
and people's populations are. That kind of like mix of cultures is very valuable.
And it's only getting more mixed.
It's true.
以您的一己之力，我们悄悄改换了世界。请代表全球侨胞祝贺我们的国家国运昌隆，赖总统政功憨泰，人民安居乐业，平安幸福。台湾加油！咱来个台湾加油，好不好？我讲 Let's go， 你讲台湾 ，Let's go 台湾 ，Let's go，Let's go 台湾 ，Let's go。
She'd be a good cheerleader too.
台湾
Yeah.
Let's go。多谢大家，谢
You can
谢
tell。she's used to speaking
Yeah,
very
definitely.
natural to her, the way that she just easily gets into a chant.
介绍友邦贵宾，请与会的来宾及长官共同欢迎友邦贵宾莅临会场。帛琉共和国艾古斯国务部长
So coming up next, we have
Honorable
some
Gustavo
tribute
Aitaro,
performances.
Minister of State of the Republic of Palau.
Oh, no.
We have some foreign diplomats coming to the stage now.
圣露西亚雷洛斯参议长及法兰西斯众议长 Honorable Alvina Reynolds and Honorable Claudius J. Francis, President of the Senate and Speaker of the House of Assembly of St. Lucia.
For any people who are
圣文
watching,
森
all of
及
these are
格瑞纳
countries who
丁
are considered
丹尼尔
friends
副
of
总理
Taiwan.
兼运输
So you can kind of
工程
see
及
what
土
countries
地利用
Taiwan
规
has
划
been able
部
to
部长
establish friendly ties with by who
Honorable
attends these kind of
Montgomery
things.
Daniel, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Transport, Work, Lands, and Fiscal Planning of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 贝里斯
Several of
海
these
德
from
副总
island
理
nations. Like us.
Honorable
Yeah.
Collier Hyde.
Well, it makes sense,
Deputy
right? Well,
Prime Minister
a lot of these part of the
and Minister
Pacific
of
Island
Natural
diaspora.
Resources
Speaking of
Petrol
diasporas.
Islands have
and
to stick
mining
together.
of Belly.
Yeah. Well, there was a big meeting this year in the Pacific Island Coalition. So it makes sense that a lot of them would then attend the National Day here, or at least members of their government if their president can't visit.
Prime Minister of Tuvalu and Madame Tosagatel.
And again, we can see Han Guoyu, that's the legislative speaker, greeting them.
让我们再次以热烈掌声欢迎友邦贵宾的莅
It's
临。
fun to see the ceremonial wear of all these different islands.
Everyone looks nice.
Yeah. It's
请大
interesting.
会主席代表全体与会人员，恭请总统莅临会场。
Looks like they are welcoming the president now.
国庆礼赞。
One more salute before the president and his entourage arrive.
Yeah. Now this is what I was saying before. This is a fun walk-in. This is this ceremonial performance, some tribute music by a group called the Blinders. Blinders.
That's right, the Blinders. And the pun actually extends to their Chinese name, which refers to those tiny shrimp that you come across at times in Taiwanese food, because the word shrimp and blind sound the same in Chinese, so you can see what they did there.
Yeah. So this is a famous musical group. I don't want to talk for too long because I want to hear what they're saying, but I do want to point out this musical group is known for being comprised of members who are visually impaired. So it's a fun little pun to put into the name. They've also had a lot of acclaim overseas.
Yes, they have. They were invited to give a special performance in Austria in 2016. They've since toured over 20 counties and cities in Taiwan, performing over 30 concerts. It's not easy to sing a cappella.
No, it's very impressive. I'll let them sing for a minute, but they are being joined by the Taiwan Dance Troupe.
Yep.
Who is a mixed dance troupe of Taiwanese and Vietnamese immigrants. So speaking to that diasporic nature, it's really kind of meant to represent the blend of cultures here in Taiwan.
You can see they were in different costumes. Panned away from them now, but
yeah.
There they are.
Yeah.
I think there's quite a decent-sized Vietnamese community in Taiwan. So
Yeah, it's nice to see it represented because you don't hear about it very much in the news. But like I know RTI, we have our Vietnamese department. So, and you get a lot of Vietnamese food options over here.
and they open nail salons. I've been. Wherever they go, they open nail salons, and they do a great job.
So it's nice to see these two. Well, I mean, I feel like I've said it so many times, right? But really, like the message of like a blended Taiwan.
Yeah,
together.
absolutely.
Cultural blending.
More and more blended. I'm blended right here.
Here we are.
I know. It's quite a small group, actually.
Yeah. If you look up photos of them or their performances, it's no more than, I want to say it's like less than 20, probably around like 15. They sound great.
It's not easy to carry a song from scratch like that.
It's a lot of coordination.
Well, they do say you lose one sense and the others are heightened, so
Their musical sense.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
The sense of theatricality, I think, too.
Yeah. You have to. I feel like that's built in with a cappella
Sure.
performances, you know?
You gotta put on the show.
You are the show.
Yes.
It's a shame. I wish I could see more of the dances.
I know. Zoom in for us. Looks like they're all wearing a variety of cultural costumes, including one that is modeled after the Vietnamese flag directly that we're looking at right
that's
now.
true.
Yeah.
It's a fun, I mean, it's not a direct callback, but it reminds me of last year. One of the themes was having everyone in all of these different rainbow
Yeah.
colors come together.
如果看到地球另一边，其实彩虹是个圆，就像偶尔分别的我们，幸福完全没有残缺。你在我的心里面，等于陪在我的身边，所以每一次见面，你的温度像微生日，我都想收集多一点。黑夜像海洋，你的爱把我包围。
Cannot be easy dancing this dance like that in front of
No, definitely not.
seated attendance.
I'd be nervous about toppling over to the side.
Especially because this is where everyone important is sitting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in front of the VIPs.
Kind of stinks for them too. They don't get to see them.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Some very excited members of the crowd waving at the camera.
Like, that'd be me. Well, I mean, if there are members of the public, they're only here because they got that lottery. So I'm sure
That's
that
true.
they would be excited.
Hey, they can be on TV. They're singing now Big Hug. This is the name of the song, as I recall.
Yeah. I'm continuing that theme of like love and inclusion.
Unity,
Yeah.
coming together.
I love Taiwan. Right.
Usually everyone sets their differences aside for a birthday party. So,
It's true. Oh, it's so nice. I'm used to hearing a cappella performances at big things like this. It's a fun twist, I think, on the theme.
今天担任大会手语翻译的是李振辉老师与丁丽芬老师。
these are sign language
总统
interpreters.
莅临会场。
I love that sign in.
So the president and his entourage are coming down the red carpet now.
This is Lai Ching-do's first speech as president.
That's right.
So excited to see what he's going to say. Like we said, we got a preview from Han Guoyu. But you're not going to listen to us tell you what he's saying. We actually have an interpreter here to do that. So
Yes, we're going to hand it over to Alex Wu for us shortly. We'll take a little breather.
yeah. It'll be exciting to see what he has to say.
It's going to be a long one, so strap in.
I'm sure a little bit of really want to get your message clear on your very first speech.
各位贵宾，请坐下。恭请总统讲话。
大会主席韩国瑜
National
院
Day
长
Celebration Chairperson Han
肖美
Kuo-yu,
琴副总
Vice
统
President Bi Kin-hsiao,
左荣泰院长
and Premier Zhuo,
土瓦鲁戴斐利总理阁下抗力，
the honorary president of Tuvalu
的庆后
and his wife, and also all of our friends from our allies and friendly nations, all of our distinguished guests, and all of our fellow citizens across Taiwan.
大家好
Hello.
大家好
Hello.
大家好今天
Today,
我们齐聚一堂
we are here
庆祝
together
中华
to
民国
celebrate
生日快乐
the National Day for the
为
Republic of
今天
China.
美丽的台湾特产
We want to celebrate this day for the beautiful Taiwan and embrace a better Taiwan for the future. 113 years ago, a group of people with desires and ambitions held the revolution to overthrow the imperial administration. They want to build a nation that is shared by the people, governed by the people, and belong to the people. They want to build a country of freedom and love and also equality. But the dream of a democratic nation was undermined by warfare. Authoritarianism has eroded our dream for a democratic nation. But we would never forget that 75 years ago, in the Gunito battle, and 68 years ago, in the August 23rd artillery battle, we arrived in Taiwan at different times, but we safeguarded Taiwan, Kinmen, Matsu, and Penghu, and we safeguarded the Republic of China. We would never forget that 45 years ago, the Kaohsiung incident, and also a lot of the democratic movements that we had. Groups and groups of people with ambition and dream for democracy has sacrificed themselves and even their lives to open a door for a democratic nation. For over 100 years, we have now finally realized our dreams to become the owner of the nation. My fellow citizens, the Republic of China was exiled in the past from the global community, but the people of Taiwan have never exiled themselves. We worked hard on this land, and as our friends suffered from natural disasters and also the pandemic, we never hesitated to extend assistance to them. Taiwan can help. It's not just a slogan. It's our philosophy, our attitude of loving for peace and also for our friends. In the past, Taiwanese people traveled to the global market with just a single suitcase to drive the economic growth of Taiwan. And now, with the chip technology, we're able to drive the global market. And we have become the powerhouse of economic development around the world. We are a diverse nation. Nymphaea Wind is the queen of the world. And Taiwanese people are brave and courageous. Lin Yuting is the queen in the boxing world. And Tsai Ing-wen, a 70-year-old boy, was able to use his skills to win a championship in wood skill around the world. And Chen Siyuan, 20 years old, inherited her father's skills, has also won the championship for air conditioning and cooling. We are seeing a lot of young generations in Taiwan. They have brightened and shined the Made in Taiwan brand again. I would like to thank generations after generations of citizens in Taiwan to weather the storm together. And now the Republic of China has taken its root in Taiwan, Kinmen, Matsu, and Penghu. We are never subordinates of the People's Republic of China. Democracy and freedom have grown and developed on this land, and the People's Republic of China has no right and power to represent people of Taiwan. The 23 million people of Taiwan is showing their influence to the global community and embrace a better future. My fellow citizens, we have overcome challenges after challenges, and the Republic of China has stood still, and our people are unwavering. We understand that we may have different perspectives, but we're always willing to accept each other's opinions, because we know that even with different opinions, we're able to move forward together. And this is what made the Republic of China as it is today. As the President of the Republic of China, my mission is to unite the 23 million people in Taiwan and also insist on our complete sovereignty and resist taxation. My mission is to safeguard the security and property of our people and also implement the 4 pillars of peace We work together with democratic nations around the world to exert the power of deterrence to safeguard our peace through strength, so that we can all live safely and happily on this land. My mission is to take care of the 23 million people of Taiwan and drive economic growth and invest in social care system. And I want to make sure that the success, the achievements of our economic development can be shared by all of the people. However, the challenges we face have never ceased. We are seeing an increasing number of challenges around the world. The climate change has impacted the sustainable development of the world. The pandemic outbreak challenged our health as well. And also, authoritarianism is challenging the rules-based global community. They are threatening the hard-won democracy and freedom. This is why I established the Climate Change Reaction Committee, a Healthy Taiwan Promotion Committee, and also the Whole of Society Defense Resilience Committee. These three committees are all interconnected to our national security. We want to build a more resilient Taiwan, and we want to face the challenges better. We want to work together with the global community as well. We want to increase our adaptation to extreme weathers. We want to implement the second energy transition and also stable power supply. We want to develop diverse green energy, deep energy saving, and also advanced energy conservation technologies, so that we can move toward our 2050 net zero transition goals. We want to stop the transition of international pandemics, and we want to reduce the years we live with disabilities and sickness. We want to improve the overall health of Taiwanese people, so that we can grow stronger and the world can embrace Taiwan. Also, we need to enhance our overall national defense, people's livelihood, disaster prevention, and also our economic growth. The more we are united, the more stable we are. The more well prepared we are in Taiwan, the safer we are. And the peace and stability will be greater in the Taiwan Strait. Taiwan has the determination to safeguard the peace in the Taiwan Strait. We want to contribute to the global peace and thrive with the global community. We want to also work together with China to develop together and ensure peace across the strait. For a long time, the world has been supporting China, invested in China, and also assisted China in joining WTO, so that China can boost it and grow. Their expectation is that China can contribute to the global economic development, and at the same time ensure safety as well. We know as the global tension increases, we are seeing more and more innocent lives sacrificed and fallen victims to disasters and wars. We hope that China can also take up the responsibility to work together with the global community to stop the Russia invasion to Ukraine and also the tensions in the Middle East. And also, let's take up the responsibility together to contribute to the development and peace of the world. As the world stage, as the world is seeing more chaoses, Taiwan will be more well prepared, confident, and to contribute to regional peace and also development. I believe that a more powerful democratic Taiwan is not only the ideal for the 23 million people of Taiwan, but also the expectations from the global community. We will work hard to make Taiwan even more thriving, and also implement and facilitate regional economic development. I think we're all working hard on this together, and through innovative economic development, we will be able to pursue the goals of inclusiveness and also diversity. We will play a critical role in the global democracy supply chain. In the future, in addition to the 5+2 development strategies and 6 core industry sectors, AI, semiconductors, military, surveillance and security, and next-generation communications. These are 5 trust-based industries that we're going to develop and expand their global presence. We are also promoting the transformation for SMEs and also micro enterprises and expand their global presence. My fellow citizens, we will also work harder to reach a balanced development across Taiwan. Next year, our budget for general budget to local governments and also general allocated tax funds is increased by 89.5 billion new Taiwan dollars. And overall, it will be 724.1 billion new Taiwan dollars. And for water treatment, the budget has increased to 55.1 billion new Taiwan dollars. We want to assist local governments in preparing themselves for extreme weathers. We'll also accelerate the safety road network across Taiwan and build a human-centered environment for transportation. At the same time, we will also connect our massive transit network. We'll connect the greater Taipei areas and also the Silicon Valley from Taoyuan, Hsinchu to Miaoli. We want to initiate the Smart Technology Southern Development Plan. We will also speed up a safety network plan in Eastern Taiwan so that people in Eastern Taiwan have a safer road of going back home. And at the same time, we will also enhance basic infrastructure in outlying island areas to raise the quality of life for locals. My fellow citizens, we must all more ensure the well-being of our people across generations. To our young parents, we'll continue to promote version 2.0 of our national child care policy. And also, we're going to even further by increasing the child subsidies, child care subsidies. We believe that children are the future of the society, and the government has the responsibility to help take care of them. To our young students, we'll continue to provide free tuition to students of high schools and vocational high schools, and also subsidize tuition for students of private junior colleges as well. We will also launch the 10 billion new Taiwan dollar Youth Overseas Dream Fund. We want to help young people fulfill their dreams. To our young adults and those in prime of their life, the minimum wage will once again be raised, and the number of rent-subsidized housing units will be increased as well. We'll expand investment in society and provide more support across life, work, housing, health, and support for young and old. We want to reduce the burden for our young and also adults. To our senior citizens around Taiwan, next year, Taiwan will become a super-aged society, and we will launch our long-term care 3.0 plan. And we will also implement the 888 program for the prevention and treatment of chronic diseases. We also want to fight cancers by establishing a new fund, and also at the same time taking care of the underprivileged. At the same time, we want to provide support for the mental health of people across all ages, so that people of all ages from all corners of the society will be well taken care of. And I fully understand that we have a concern for the high housing prices, and also we have a distaste for frauds. Our commitment to you is that we will never shy away from these problems. We will make all our efforts to fight against these issues. We will fight against frauds and also fight against the rising of housing prices. We will also take care of the desires of people to change to new homes. We will all walk together and continue moving forward. Today, the former President Tsai Ing-wen and also Tsai Ing-wen and also leaders from different parties in Taiwan are all present here today. I would like to thank all of you for coming here. It means that generations of people in Taiwan are gathering, and also we are showing our values as a diverse society, a nation. We must unite it as one. The society must be stable. I want to thank Legislative Yuan Speaker Han Kuo-yu and also Premier Zhuo Rongtai for their facilitation in cross-party collaborations. We also believe that externally we will be fighting for the interests of the nation. Whichever party we are, whatever political opinions we hold, the interest of the nation is always above the interest of parties. And the interests of parties shall never overtake the interests of people. Because this is precisely the spirit upheld by those who sacrificed, who gave everything they had in order to establish the Republic of China. This is what our predecessors paid to overcome authoritarianism. This is their lessons to us. And this is precisely why, regardless of party affiliation, and regardless of our differences, we are gathered here today. All of us, regardless of what name we choose to call our nation, the Republic of China, Taiwan, or the Republic of China, Taiwan, we must all share common convictions. Our determination to defend our national sovereignty remains unchanged. Our efforts to maintain a status quo of peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait remain unchanged. Our commitment to hoping for parity and dignity and healthy and orderly dialogue and exchanges between the two sides of the strait remains unchanged. Our determination from one generation to the next to protect our free and democratic way of life remains unchanged. I believe this is the dream that Taiwan's 23 million people all share. It is also the shared ideal that Taiwanese society and the international community hold. The stronger the commitment of the Taiwanese people, the greater the tenacity of democracy around the world. The greater the tenacity of the Taiwanese people, the stronger the commitment of democracy around the world. Let's keep going, Republic of China. Let's keep going, Taiwan. Regardless of our differences, let's keep going forward. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Alex. It's quite a cognitively demanding task to interpret live, especially for such a long time.
Indeed. And with so many important points, we definitely heard the president mentioning a lot of his cornerstone policy in this one, a lot of personal policy, a lot of Taiwanese local policy.
Yes, and Taiwan wanting to remain kind of an oasis of peace as wars rage in other regions.
Yeah.
So we'd really love to thank you guys for tuning in to our live stream of the National Day celebration.
Now, the celebrations will continue after this, but it's going to be a lot of performances. So not necessarily something that needs a live dialogue along with it. That doesn't mean you can't watch, though. Some of the performances that will be following this will be the military police with a motorcycle show, the military color guard, and of course, those Olympic heroes and the Paralympic heroes will be joining a parade as well. After that, we have some other performances.
Yes, we'll have it looks like we'll be seeing the 47th World Skills Competition winners, Taoyuan Guisan Elementary School Little League team, the Chinese Taipei U17 boys and girls national volleyball teams, as well as another performance by Hualien County government's Alephus Culture and Art Troupe.
Yeah, a really nice parade, really acknowledging, again, those citizen heroes. It's going to be kind of followed up and almost finished by the Hakka Affairs Council we mentioned earlier, and the Duangting Vocational High School street dance team, which should be exciting.
Right, and we'll finally finish off with a flag display and another performance by an aerobatics team, basically plane flyovers.
And so if you're interested in seeing that, you can look at that on the Presidential Office live stream, which has been a lot of the same footage we've been showing you. You can find that at Presidential Office, all one word, on YouTube, or by Googling the 113th Taiwan National Day live stream. Again, thank you for joining us here on Radio Taiwan on this special day of celebration. I'm Amanda Stevens.
And I'm Hanna Bilinski. Thank you guys so much.